Hi, Charles SirBookSage here. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020, and I thought I'd do something a little different. I want to take a look back at the reading goals I set for myself on my Friday Reads video the other day, and to see if did I actually accomplish any of them. So let's take a look. Okay, my first goal for the weekend was to finish my Jane Austen read. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, there's a Jane Austen July. It's a Goodreads group, Katie of Books and Things, and forgive me, I can't remember the other channel who's the co-host. And I had no intent to participate in it, but just kind of spur of the moment. You know, I've never read any Jane Austen. She's been high on my list. It's one of those authors to get to. So I said, you know what the hell? Sense and Sensibility. So my main goal was to finish that book this weekend. And my preference was to finish it Friday night, so that I would have the rest of the weekend open. So how did I do? I am happy to say that yes, I finished it, and I finished it Friday night. So right off the bat, first goal was accomplished that night. So good reading start to the weekend. 5-star book, by the way. Absolutely loved it, just as much as I knew I would. And I'm really looking forward to continuing and reading more Austen. Now, with everything on my plate reading-wise, when that'll be, I don't know. For all I know, I might just do one Austen book every July. We'll see. But absolutely enjoyed it. My second reading goal was to start the first-time read of the Dresden Files, the Dresden File books. Jim Butcher's series that has been there, sitting there for a long time, and is almost done, apparently. I think he's got, I don't know if he's releasing the last book this year, or he must be very close to the finale of the series. And even though I'm reading Malazan, Warkosigan, and Harrington, all three 16-book plus series, I'm adding a fourth 16-plus book series. Did I read Stormfront this weekend? Yes. And I read the whole book, I think in like 2 sittings. I really loved it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Just a solid opening series book. Gives you enough about the main character. You start to learn about Harry Dresden, who he is, what he does, what kind of manners and what kind of a person he is. You start to get insights into that. Really good world building. Butcher lays down some of the ground rules of magic here. And I'm guessing he's planting seeds for things that will come to fruition much later as the series goes along. So, but I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it so much. I actually started reading the second book, Full Moon. And I got about 152 pages in. Now, one interesting thing that I've seen multiple people say when it comes to Dresden Files is just give the first 5 books, a chance. Just read through the first 5 books, and book 6 is when the series really begins to take off. I've seen multiple people mention something similar. Now, I said 3.5 stars, easy 3.5 stars for Stormfront, and I'm enjoying Full Moon even more. So if these are the mediocre books in the series, I can only imagine just how good this series gets, because I'm really, really enjoying these. And so stats-wise, I sat down and looked at pages read, and it comes out to 600 pages read this weekend. So not bad. 600 pages read, 2 books finished, a 3rd book started, a whole new series started. So overall, a pretty solid reading weekend. I did not get to go out and do any photography this weekend, though. So that's a fail on my part. For those who may not be aware, I also am very into photography. And I try to get out on weekends and take nice long walkabouts with my camera. But there's been a lot less of that with the pandemic going on. But Saturday we had this massive, brutal storm with lightning crashing down all around us come through. So that cut into a lot of Saturday. But I spent so much time reading this weekend so that kind of I wasn't like not busy or not doing anything. So, but hopefully this next weekend I'll be able to get out there and not only read, but I'll be able to walk around listening to one of the books while I take some photos. And other than that, outside of reading goes, made a whole batch of my sausage marinara, just so good. I actually added some of this Ommegang Abbey Ale, the Belgian double, to it. Gives a nice extra layer of flavor to that like red sauce, that marinara sauce. And I also finally sat down and watched the Perry Mason series. It's something I've been meaning to get to. I knew last night episode 4 was premiering, so I sat and watched 1, 2, and 3, and I timed it right so that as I finished the third one, the fourth one was available, so I get to watch that as well. Really, really enjoying that. I know this is like Perry Mason before he was the famous lawyer Perry Mason character. I don't know if any of this stuff in the series is in the books. Apparently there's like 80 books from the author about this character. So I'm really curious. I might pick up the first book in this Perry Mason series just to see what it's like. I actually recently bought the first Bosch novel and the first Longmire novel, because those are two shows I'm working my way through that I also really, really like, that are based on long-running series, I guess. So I've got those two to read. So I might pick up whatever the first Perry Mason book 1 is, and I might pick a month where it'll be fun to just kind of dive into that style, because I really don't read like detective murder mystery books. So it'll be something different. So as far as books purchased this weekend, I did buy the Audible to Full Moon. I already had the ebook, and why I bought the ebook and didn't buy the Audible at the same time when I bought the ebook, I have no idea, because I usually buy them in tandem. But I didn't, so I picked up Full Moon this weekend. So yeah, so overall not a bad weekend, reading-wise. So, and TV-wise, and food-wise, just not photography-wise. Though I did watch some photography channels, so I've been doing more research on like YouTube setup and stuff, because I need like a permanent spot where I can just sit down and press that record button, because I don't have that in this apartment yet. But anyway, I'm going to bring this back around on track. So reading goals that I set, I accomplished, slightly exceeded. So overall, a happy weekend for me. And this is a fun little video just to kind of see, did I actually do what I said I was going to do? Keeping myself in check. So, until next time, I am Charles SirBookSage. Happy reading.